I guess we got the mayor elections coming up.
Yeah, and I think
Uh,
yeah, is it next year? I think it's next
is
year,
it
maybe.
November or next year?
I think it's next year. I don't know. I
Next year.
haven't
Okay.
didn't look. I think it's next year,
Um, so
but they got to start.
George, you can only do mayor one time. Is that true?
Well, you have
Well, you want,
staggered terms. I mean, it's like I don't know
yeah.
what it is, but yeah. I mean,
Okay.
again, it's kind of like you do that progression, and like for George, I mean,
So George is going to go on the caucus next.
all George has been through, he's done,
Yeah.
which is again surprising that you know typically an ex alderman, if they want to continue serving, would say, "Hey, you know what? I'm going to run for mayor." I mean, that's your next progression,
Yeah.
but
Well, so some of the candidates here that are interested, Prue Beidler
Beidler,
and Kathy Waldeck have thrown their hat in the ring.
nice.
Anybody know anything about them or
Yeah, I mean, they're both aldermen. Did well. I mean,
are they both women?
yeah, uh,
Oh,
Prue and
I
Kathy. I
don't
mean,
know. There's no pronoun in front of it.
oh, you, you got me. Okay. Oh
No,
yeah,
but
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yes,
so
Prue. They're female. I think Prue's first ward, and Kathy. I'm
basically the
not
next
sure.
mayor, this has been it's got to be a female, whoever it is. Is that right?
No, it doesn't have to be a female. It has to be the best qualified person. And I know the caucus is feels differently, but
Yeah.
I mean, there's a whole, I think one of the aldermen that should run, but he won't, is Randy Tack, ex alderman,
Who's
third
he?
ward.
Third ward?
He was third ward. Yeah, he would be fantastic, and but I don't think he's going to do it. There's just a lot of people. I mean, but yeah, I mean, you want to have someone, and I know, isn't there someone that's going to run against the slate? It was saying that in one of these uh, rags that come out every Friday for free. That's just
Yeah.
nothing but a bunch of advertisement. But he was on the front page, running for mayor of Lake Forest. I don't remember the name, but they're going to have a contested election. I got to imagine, but the caucus,
Are
if
you
they were smart, would be interviewing a ton of people and asking them, as opposed to sitting back and hoping someone comes and knocks on the door. But yeah, I think the Prue and Kathy. I think Kathy would be great. I think Prue stepped down or finished her stuff because she was, again tired. Did her service, and but
yeah.
they're rejuvenated, and
But she filled out her term, unlike
yeah,
the old
right,
Ward One alderman.
right. But I mean, you know, that I mean, it's going to be interesting because I think there's some current aldermen that are going to throw their hats in the ring, and we already mentioned one of them, but that'll be interesting. But that
Any of the lawsuit three?
oh yeah,
So
Melanie
Melanie.
Rummel. Oh God, yeah.
So, but do you think the other two in the
I would be shocked if Melanie doesn't run. She's given all indications forever that that's her goal, but I would be shocked. But
so how would it play
if
out
she
then?
ran, it would be the most shocking thing if she does decide to run and the caucus puts her through. That's a tough one. Got a lot of baggage.
So what
I mean,
give me the odds. Even so, I'm guessing that this thing's got to get the lawsuit's got to get settled, and then once the thing gets settled,
well, I don't think the lawsuit has to get settled or not. I don't know what the status is of that. I mean, if she wants to run, she runs. I mean,
yeah, okay,
that's just giving the caucus the you know high sign, which I think she's already given the high sign. But but that's the interesting thing when you got aldermen, ex-aldermen running. It, that's the big thing with the problem with the caucus is they have this canned interview process that you know about and set interview questions that are just ridiculous. That those are fine if it's a brand new person, but when you're interviewing ex-board members or ex-aldermen, or there's got to be more substance to it. Like it'd be interesting to see if, let's just say it's those three women.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anyone on the caucus that can ask a question like, Kathy Waldeck, talk to us about what you accomplished as an alderman and all this other stuff. If she starts getting into her resume and all that, it's like, you're going to sit there and go, oh, wow. And I would think she's the best out of all three of them.
Yeah.
But how do you make those decisions? It's like, okay, so then you ask Prue. Prue's done a great job, as an alderman too. And then if Melanie runs, she has, you got these aldermen who have done great things outside of one and that have experience on boards and commissions that another one doesn't. But boy, I tell you what, that's why I've always said, when it comes to alderman or mayor or whatever, that shouldn't go to the caucus. That should be an outside group determinant, because how are you going to pick the three? And you know how you're going to pick the three? Just the same way that you experienced when the leader of the caucus stands up and says, if all things are equal, pick the woman. Well, now what do you do if they're all three women?
They're all three women. Well, which one's more?
Pick the one.
Pick the right pronoun. Friend. Pick the right
No. Pick the right. Which one? Who's who?
Yeah.
And I got to tell you, I'm going to venture to say that Melanie has had more influence on the caucus with referring people and all that, or as they say, friends of the caucus, than the other two. So she, holds that advantage because, again, and I've always said this, is you should take the resumes of everyone, lop off their names, lop off the ward they're in, and hand them. You don't have to ask questions. Go here. You guys pick the one that has the best resume.
Right.
And, that's unbiased. And, but what happens is, people look at it and go, wow, this resume is really good. And then they peel back and it's someone they don't want. And they're like, oh no. So it'll be interesting. I think I hope there's more men.
Yeah.
Ex-aldermen and all that say, and I'm going to give it a whirl, because right now, from past kind of experience and hearing this stuff about the caucus, particularly that last statement I said, that is pretty accurate, I guess.
Well, I was there, yeah. And now I'm not.
We have women candidates, which is fine. Like I said, Kathy Waldeck, hands down. If it's only those three, but
so Preshlack, what about him?
I was just going to say, Preshlack blows them all away. There's a caucus. If he decides to say, I'm going to give it a whirl, I can bet you dollars on donuts that, according to them, he's not going to be qualified, and he's the most qualified. I'm just talking about past what I've seen.
Yeah.
So it's I think those two that have thrown their hat in the ring are great. I hope there's more people that throw their hat in the ring. And I think it's kind of interesting, because I don't think there's been that many hats thrown in the ring for this position in the past. It's always kind of been like, I think George could be the best mayor. Okay, done. No one contests it. So it'll be interesting. And I think there's got to be some, what happens if one of these people don't get the nod from the caucus? Are they going to run opposing it? I tell you what, if that happened, that'd be I wouldn't want to be on the caucus if an ex-alderman gets nudged out for someone else and says, I still want to be mayor, and they run on their own ticket. Whew.
You want to talk meat
good luck
grinder.
with that. Oh, good luck with that.
Skoo, I got a name for you. You ready?
Yeah.
Skoo Walker for mayor.
No way. I'm not qualified. I'm not qualified.
What do you mean? Yeah, you're qualified.
No, I'm
you
not
have the
qualified.
You have the ability to make lawn signs.
Yeah, no. I would say no, because I am a firm believer of running the process. To be mayor, you have to be an alderman. You have to show an alderman. As an alderman, you have to be able to show that you've been on boards and commissions and the right ones where you work with the city. It's not, the sad thing is when people do run against the slate because they're pissed, they end up losing. And because they're not experienced, as they're good people, but they're not experienced. And that's why they get just demolished by the caucus thing. But like I said, right now, crap, if let's just hypothetically say Kathy Waldeck doesn't get the caucus nod,
and
if she really wants to be mayor and she ran against the slate, that's a same thing. Randy Tack, if he doesn't throw his hat in the ring.
How do you spell the last name? TAFT?
TACK.
TACK. Okay.
And let's say he doesn't want to do it, or even Preshlack, if he did it and doesn't get the nod and he runs against it, they'd lose. Because they're not vetting the people the right way. And this is going to be interesting for replacing George, is because there's ex-aldermen throwing their hats in, and now the caucus is put in a position where they haven't really been before. At least this caucus has never really been in this position where they have to really kind of do their job. And I just don't think they're going to do their job. They're going to get pressure from the exec council on who should be. But it's going to be interesting to watch. And you really have to, as a caucus member, really have to look at the resumes and not what you're being forced upon. And it's always been said, the caucus turning into a newcomers club, and there's a lot to be said to have longer residents part of the caucus to help bring together the past and the present. And like I said, I can bet you Kathy Waldeck and Prue Beidler, what would you say the percentage know who of the caucus committee knows who those people are and that they served and how they served the community? None. Well, I shouldn't say that. Before we start, I know. Stop. Now I'm.
You need crowd barriers there.
But I think a very small percentage would remember who and what they did, and that's not. But you have that mix of people. That's what it does, and unfortunately, you don't, and that's where this exec council gets their power from when they stand up and say, if you can't make up your mind, vote for the woman, which is not right.
Welcome to the Lake Forest Podcast, a podcast about the lovely city of Lake Forest, featuring topics like local news, sports, music, people, food, and politics. My name is Pete, and I'm joined with the voice of the Lake Forest High School basketball, football, lacrosse, chess team, water polo. Walker. How you doing, Skoo?
I am doing well, Pete. How are you? Happy Wednesday. Hump Day.
Hump Day. Prime Day. Almost over Prime Day.
Prime Day.
That's what? You know what's prime? Florida. The Lake Forest Podcast is supported by viewers and listeners like you. Shark Eye Beach Fishing, the premier South Florida beach fishing experience, Out of Longboat Key, Florida. Their World Reno captains not only put you on the fish, but they'll help you and your family make a memory of a lifetime. Check them out on Facebook or at sharkguidebeachfishing.com to schedule an outing. Shark Guy is your guy for your next charter. Disclaimer, again, Skoo still does not charter. We'd also like to say we're thankful for our Patreon supporters. Reverend Luke from the Church of the Holy Spirit. I think he had a 50th birthday. Is the house right next to the church?
Saw it. Oh, yeah.
That's him, right?
Yeah, it's him. Yeah.
That's him. Okay.
Happy birthday. Late.
Happy birthday, Revenue.
Welcome to the club.
Wait, I called him Revenue.
Whoops.
Corporate. We'll leave that in. Matt A, Elizabeth C, Coastal Lance, Otto, RDM, Broadstop Breakfast Group in Kenosha, Captain Mike's in downtown Kenosha, and the Greentown Tavern in Waukegan. So, Skoo, happy Prime Day, my friend.
Happy Prime Day, I guess.
So, what useless small purchases will you make, or will you not make?
I will not make. Yeah, you never know. Might need something. Got this, though. For Father's
Hold on. Let me look. Whose face is on it?
No one. Oh, that's a good idea. I got this, you attach it to the desk.
Yeah.
I'm taking suggestions, a face we can put on there.
Well, I know a few people who like to put my face on there.
I just can't, I can't haul off. If I get frustrated, I might knock it off the desk, but it's pretty cool. I like it. And it's red.
So, Skoo, where do I begin? It's been sort of a busy week, trying to update our podcast experience here. In order to do that, I need a better computer.
Uh-oh.
So, I like to take the crowbar out once in a while to open up my wallet. And I couldn't see myself doing Apple. Just couldn't see it.
No.
And I said, what is so hard about making a PC? Well, so I go, I watch a few videos, and, the parts have come down in price. And, there were some check yourself moments over a 2-day period. But I managed to put together, got some help from some people with smaller fingers than mine, and
Nice.
I will never go to Apple again. Maybe for the phone, I'll do it. But now this is for a stationary, a tower, right?
Right.
But I'm not going to pick this thing up and go somewhere. That's something, a whole different ball game. But for me to crunch these videos, I am quite impressed on surprised and impressed with myself and my ability to do this. And if I can do it, other people can do it.
Well, that picture you posted was interesting because, my son does that for his job, is takes apart computers and then they recycle the guts of it, so to speak.
You can't just throw that stuff out. Yeah. So your kid works on them, huh?
Doesn't really. Takes them apart.
Yeah.
But,
so there's only like five pieces that you got to figure out, and the hard part is you're putting them in this box, and I'm like, well, why do you need a box? It's like art now because they have all these lights, and just have it in an open space, So I'll keep you updated on that. So we put the computer together, and then I'm walking around town. I'm trying to come up with a new place because I'm staying too much on the east side, and I'm forgetting about the less fortunate people on the west side. So I want to get the views of both sides. So I go from the Lake Street
Road
over to Western Street and walk down. I walk down, and I happen to run into people. First person
that's gonna happen.
Coming down Deer Path, hanging a Ralph on Western Street is I'm like, wait, who's this blonde lady walking by? It looks familiar. I go, Alderman Luby. She looks at me, she goes, Pete Jansons. And she goes, by the way, it's Alderman Luby Weber. I go, mea culpa.
High fives, hugs.
Oh my God. I said, hey, you know, I've been giving you a hard time because of that lawsuit and whatnot. And I would love for you to come on the show and give me a hard time because I could possibly be wrong on certain things. There's a fine line between an upset tummy and other things, issues, like that. Clear the air, and and of course, I said, hey, I know you got a lawsuit going on, but once that's all done, why don't you come on the show and clear the air? She said, you know what? Let me think about that, Pete. Oh, she also said, what goes around comes around. Fair enough.
Whoop.
Oh, there she is. Tell her. So she
Right
said she said she'd think about it, and I said, you know what? I'll take that as a no. I
keep take it as a no? She's got to, she'll come on. Maybe come on.
If I was laying odds on there, I'd say that's 99.9% no.
Okay.
Prove me. Well, hey, the invitation is always open, right?
That's true.
We give
That's
crap
true.
and we take crap. People stop me in the car and, it's about 50-50.
Right.
Thumbs up or the other finger. So it's, good enough.
Doing
so
good.
I'm walking down and I go by the $4 and I see this big fishing line with a hook on it. Caught me, reeled me in.
In Florida?
Shark Guy beach fishing.
Oh, there you go.
He's inside of $4, and I'm dripping with sweat, and I'm like, I go in there, and I sit down and splash, and I'm talking to Shark Guy, and he says, "Let me go get you a cup of coffee." I go, "I've never bought a cup of coffee. Maybe one time. But if you want to go up there and do it, go ahead." Because online it shows that it's closed because the computer systems were shut down. They couldn't take credit cards that day. Remember how you were telling me like they're not even open or whatever?
Right.
So they only took cash. I'm like,
cash is king.
I'm sure you walk around with a wad, but a bunch of singles with a Benny, on the outside.
I have a bunch of singles with a 10 wrapped around it.
So anyways, I'm sitting in Starbucks and I'm thinking about you. I'm, looking around and I'm just pooling with sweat. People are looking at me, and he goes up and stands in the line. And this is a later walk. So this is probably 8:45 in the morning, pretty late for us, Skoo. So, 20 minutes later, he comes back and he's got the cup. And I'm like, how much was that? $6.
Wow.
$6
what'd you get?
Coffee. Just give me iced coffee.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean,
there's so whatever, so we go in there. I'm just watching the people come in, and I see the little kids running out of the car, running in, picking up orders.
Did you interview them?
No, we're just, taking it all in. I needed a shower.
Grab one of the little ones and ask them.
Oh,
do you get paid to come running in here?
Well, they had to run in with cash because they had to.
Oh,
you know what I mean? They weren't picking up; they had to pay for it. So then I leave there, and of course, you hear Skoo Walker.
Someone yell back, "Shut that up!" I'm on the phone.
I love your little stand-up deal you got down there. You're always, you're ready. Somebody comes in there, you are standing up. You are defensive posture. You're ready.
It's a cabinet. I have my computer because I can't sit because of my back surgeries for a long period of time. So I just stand.
When'd you have back surgery?
I had the tip and the top of my back and the bottom of my back. The
No
base of my
kidding.
neck, I had surgery years ago, 10 years ago, and 3 years ago, I had at the base.
So
Playing all the sports I played at a very aggressive pace caused some of these issues.
So that baseball's pretty rough on you, huh?
Baseball, softball, racquetball, basketball.
All right. Just saying, those are pretty rough sports, man. I don't know.
If you play it like I do, it is.
So then I get back and
play baseball the right way, you get injured.
Okay.
Not like these pros now. But anyway, I digress.
So, well, I mean, this is not much of a conversation, but when you don't have much else going on, this is what you get. So, of course, the train whistle, the thunderstorms kick in.
Oof.
Oh,
I told you to get out of here.
I'm like,
we got a few minutes before
I got to go. So then I go back, but second to us the other day.
Did you run home? Because
I can't run. I can't run. The hips.
Damn, I wanted to get that.
Well, first of all, when I could run, I couldn't really run. But when when you get new hips, you can't run. So it's a very slow speed walking. It's a very slow speed walking is what I do. You okay over there, or you just?
No, it's just the people out front that are.
Oh, are they?
Handing by, they're waving into the.
Tell them to come on in. All right, so I don't know if you're ready for one of your stories, but I do have another one.
Go
for you.
You're the man.
So
yesterday,
I'm trying to get back to the west side of town, so I'm on, Market.
So out off of Waukegan Road, you're out there.
I'm in Market Circle
Square,
and I go in there and I stopped by Mary at Gerhardt's because I was looking for a little treat, and I give Mary a hard time. I said, hey, I just spoke to my loan officer and he said I could buy a cake here. She doesn't appreciate that.
Yeah.
But when you want something special.
What's that book that's out there? Making Friends and whatever.
How to Win Friends and Influence People.
There you go. Did you write that?
I'm just a big friend maker. But no, like I say, when you want something special, that's where you go. So I go in there, and then of course, we had some of our listeners in there, watchers in there, and hey all, John and Paul, Dick and Dave. I forgot the rest of them. But
did they salute you with the thumb or the other one?
They gave me the thumb. And then a couple ideas to talk about, which we will probably get into the show. But then I went over across from the Starbucks is a place called the
train station.
No, not the train station, Skoo. It is
the platform.
The Daily Grind. The Daily.
Oh, Grind. Behind Starbucks, you mean?
Yeah. Behind.
Fantastic place.
Rick. So I call up Rick on the phone, and I say, Rick, I need me a special burger blend, 1/3 short rib, 1/3 top sirloin, and 1/3 brisket, and grind it up for me. Now, why would I want that, Skoo? That's supposedly a good burger blend. Okay, maybe it's
you having a cookout with your neighbors?
I was making some food for the clan.
Nice.
For the D clan, and he says, Pete, just come on in here. We don't carry any of that crap. Just come in and get my regular meat. I'm like, all right, Rick, because he sounds like a good guy. I go in there and It's an old school
Right.
butcher, old school. I'm sure. I'm surprised there wasn't anything like hanging in there, and there. venison.
He was staring at you, thinking maybe I could get him on the hook. There's some good meat there.
Well, Rick's not a tiny guy either, but
No,
he had his kid. Do you know Rick at all?
I don't know him personally, but no, I've been in there. Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
I think his daughter works there.
Yeah. Yeah. His
So,
daughter runs things, and first time I ever been there. I said, "All right, let
really,
me." Yeah.
you're stepping out. It's about time you kind of engage in these little.
Well, you got Costco and then you got Rick. So, I want to be able to say I went in to Rick and I said, all right, let me see what this is like. And he basically said all that YouTube crap is just crap, because that's where I saw it, get
Mhm.
a burger mix. And basically, he's just said, hey, you know what? Just get a 15% fat mixture and cook it out and you'll be fine. Long story short, I got the burgers, cooked them yesterday. Fantastic.
Phenomenal.
He threw in he said, you like pork chops? And I said, no.
Oh,
He gave me a coffee
stuff.
rub, bacon wrapped
Mhm.
pork chops and try it. Tried it, took a bite. I'm like, but I gave it to the wife and the rest of the family, and they're like, oh my God, this is great. All right. And then a couple of hots.
Isn't a butcher just great?
It is. It really is. It's
I mean, it costs a little bit more, but at the end of the day, it's
yeah. Well,
unfortunately,
it's
now times you can't go in there all the time, but well, some people can.
no. So all I'm saying is Rick's a good guy, good Missouri guy. You can if a barber shop were a butcher, that would be the place to go where just you can just kill 2 hours.
I
Just
tell you what, he's got some great sandwiches there too.
I saw the coolers. He said he got beat up pretty good because of the holiday. Everybody cleaned them out. So I said, hey,
Good thing.
I said, Rick, we'll have you on the show. But if you don't hear from me, you know what happened. Because he said, try the meat. I did. It was good. It was good. It was good.
Go back there if you can. That's a great little hideaway there.
No. But what I am going to do, Skoo, is it's Prime Day. I did purchase a meat grinder. So I will be making the Lake Forest podcast special blend of meats.
Ah, nice.
And we will have a little taste test.
More food.
More food, sir. So that was
nice.
That was my goings on.
So you really stepped out on the west side.
I did. It's
you're going to talk about the West Lake Forest on the west side.
Are you
I
talking
hate to
about
tell you, we're still east.
Are you talking about where the other train station is?
Yeah, that's
it's like a suburb, man.
Yeah, that's West Lake Forest.
It's corporate
where our hardware store is. Great hardware store. Go out there.
What's that guy's name again?
Chris,
yeah. I get my keys. I need a key done. Chris, here you go, man.
He's awesome.
Anytime you walk into an Ace, it always has that manure, whatever smell, and you're in the right place to get stuff fixed. So as usual, I'm sure you got some emails. I got a few emails.
I'm getting emails.
Share
those emails.
Lake Forest Shop, which I'm sure you go to quite a bit.
I would if I could.
100 years. Well, you do have a wife.
She goes there. I don't. There's a big difference.
100 years coming up.
Amazing.
100 years coming up in September. So
staple of Market Square.
So Ellen, we had her on
with Kittles.
The
Yankers.
Were you on last time we had Ellen on the show?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So September, 100 years, we're gonna have him come on and have a little chat about that. Then I get an email about I used to be in Ward 1, Skoo. Caucus.
Used to be. Oh,
used
okay.
To be. Yeah. And
Like, you moved?
I used to be the Ward 1 caucus committee. And when I left,
They're all waving.
I know I'm waving back. I can only see the reflection.
Starting to get a crowd just standing out there. Hey.
You need like a red light on.
Well, I do. I think they see this wobbling.
Oh, yeah. So somebody pointed out to me that the vacancy that was left, which was kind of a big spot, was filled with a guy.
Your ward.
In my ward, yeah. Was filled by a guy who used to be an alderman.
Yeah.
Do aldermen go back into?
Never seen it.
Ever?
I mean, why would you? I mean, you serve, like this guy served on a couple boards and commissions as an alderman for his full term there, and he's done his serving. Why would you go back on the caucus, of all things?
So they pointed out, and it just so happens when I made a big stink, about the Ward 1 alderman. I guess she got elected.
Yeah, we talked about it last week.
She got elected.
Right.
Nancy Novitt,
right,
whose answer on how she prepared for the interview was nothing. Literally said she did nothing to prepare. Why do I make a point of it? Because that is a weed out question that other people have been weeded out. But obviously, when you say nothing, it's almost like Seinfeld, a show about nothing. Well, it's an alderman about nothing. You get the gig. So her husband is the guy that took
Kent.
my spot.
Wow, you're like that's a kudos to you. You must have been a very powerful presence on the caucus if they have to replace you with a former alderman. Wow, congratulations, Pete, you're big.
But wait a minute, it's like, why would you want to? You were an alderman. Why wouldn't you? Why would you go back to being the caucus? Don't you want to go into a board or?
I would think if you want to go backwards, some will say it's not backwards, but once you've achieved alderman status, I mean, you're that's higher than other boards, and obviously more important than being on the caucus. But it's shocking when I got an email. You probably got the same email from the caucus, and I guess they were spotlighting one of the, Ward 1 or 2, and I just clicked on it, and I'm like, what is Ken Novitt doing on the Ward 1? Obviously, he was filling your spot, so I guess it doesn't go through the normal voting process of the ward and all that. But that was a head scratcher for me. I don't know why. Other side, I think Nancy will do well as an alderman, but now I just kind of keep scratching my head as, the purpose of Kent, going on the caucus, unless and obviously unless, the exec council is going to need to have some expertise or experience in city government coaching them along their processes. But it was really strange. I don't know why.
You think
I would think that, Ward 1 is big enough. What really kind of is a weird thing is, really, I mean, who was the old president of the caucus and her exec committee, as well as, more importantly, the first ward chair, couldn't find anyone in Ward 1 to volunteer? I mean, I don't know if that was even a search or was just an automatic, I got an idea. Let's ask Nancy's husband to be on the caucus.
So you got a husband and wife, like, how could she's the alderman and then
here's the thing, Pete. So, and you can remember this because you weren't that far removed from the caucus, but even when you're interviewing potential caucus people, isn't the first thing to ask it, is there a conflict? I mean, I don't know. Well, my wife was just appointed alderman. And was he on there when? No, you guys you voted for her, right? You're still on the caucus, but still, I mean, can't we get to the point in this silliness that one person isn't qualified because they're not liked, but another one, or they say it's a conflict, while another one there is conflict, and it's just okay. So I don't know. It's wild west.
Now,
I guess that's the thing, is once you're an alderman, the next step up is not mayor, but caucus committee.
Well, caucus committee, executive board, but yeah. But then they say they're good friends with Melanie Rummel. Is that
I don't know that, but it's sure kind of.
I don't know it either. Look, people won't come on. They just send us stuff, and we say, well, this could or could not be true.
We can only go by what's been fed to us, whether it's right or wrong. But no, I don't know. I mean, I've heard those rumors floating around there when Nancy was put on there. That was a referral from Melanie. So who knows? I'm not sure if Kent served as an alderman under Melanie's husband, Mike, when he was mayor, but I don't know for a fact. It was close to that, so he could have been. And then, just this whole, and I'm sure Melanie is just dying to run for mayor. So,
now wait,
who knows? I mean, who knows? It's all such when you start kind of, and that's the sad thing, is so many people don't understand how everything works, or it really cares. I mean, peel back, who cares really, right?
They don't care. But why are we talking about it?
But the funny thing is, when you start looking at it, you're going, that's interesting. And again, never have I seen an ex-alderman go onto a ward as a caucus committee member. I mean, typically, I mean, in that transgression or progression from serving, which again, fantastic Kent for serving and still wanting to serve, but I've never seen it. I mean, and typically when you're done serving, if you served on several boards or an alderman or whatever, it's exhausting. You're done. You're like, I'm out. I gotta, and if he's looking for, volunteering stuff, I mean, crap, there's so many boards or commissions that they could have put him on besides the caucus committee, that pretty much is the committee that, pushes forward the next aldermans and mayors and all that. So I don't know. I mean, it's just kind of, I would like to be a fly on the wall when they start deciding who, when the slate comes out, who the caucus is going to push forward as mayor. I would love to be on that one. First ward, do you have any recommendations or suggestions? And yes, I'd like to speak. I think so-and-so, my experience working on the boards and commissions and as an alderman, I think we should be voting for.
Well, let's just say Ward 1 is very well represented on the executive board.
Of course it is. Of course it is. And it's, again, how it's so well represented that how the heck can you not find somebody in the ward to serve on the caucus, as opposed to going to, Nancy said that her husband's really interested in. Oh, okay. We don't have to interview anybody. We'll just
boom, plug and play.
Necessary. So who knows? I mean, just fishy. But
so in hindsight, should I have quit or should I have stuck it out and had them vote me out? Because if they vote me out, then you would have to.
Yeah, it's just kind of funny. I mean, I gave my opinion to you. I think it's, you know, I don't know if you would have been voted out or not, but seeing how it all worked out. I mean, if you would have stuck out your term, because they really can't. I mean, unless they just keep changing the bylaws where they can push stuff in there that says they can.
Oh, they wouldn't do that.
You were elected, so technically they really
Yeah.
couldn't. You didn't do anything wrong, really. But yeah, if you ran out your term, they would have to find somebody. Then it gets that person gets voted on.
Yeah.
By the public, as opposed to, I think he was just the I guess the president at the time, just decides. So it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting.
And the baton is just passed from one vice president to the next president to the next vice president to the next president.
And the other thing with like a Prue and a Kathy, and again, they're I think they are process believers, like a lot of people in this community. If they don't get it, let's just say someone else does, and the caucus passes that person through, they're not going to run. I mean, it's not a bitter taste that, because if you're an alderman and you go through that whole process and you become an alderman and you want to run for mayor, rarely have I seen where an alderman, they don't get moved through, so to speak, to run for mayor. I rarely see kind of one going, oh, that sucks, I'm going to run against them. Because if you're an alderman and you've gone through the process, you appreciate the process, all its frailties, that process, and you kind of support that process. So, but it will be interesting. It's a challenge for the caucus because they're going to have to interview ex-aldermen that served loyally to the community, and you can't just
ask them, how did you prepare for this meeting?
How did you prepare for this meeting? Or, if I was an alderman being interviewed for mayor and someone asked me, how'd you prepare this meeting? I'd ask him, how'd you prepare for the meeting? You read my resume?
Do you have any what about, do you have any conflicts?
Well, I mean, it's going to be interesting. I don't envy people on the caucus right now because it looks like what's transpiring is, replacing a mayor is not going to be drop kick. There's people that have served that want to be mayor.
Well, the process went from Kim Fail to David Hunt to this Chris Benez. The baton is being passed along, and the baton somewhere started with Melanie Rummel, right? Hearsay,
so to speak. Yeah,
so to speak, hearsay.
What we hear.
So, did Melanie Rummel just pop up at the very end, the last interview, and? Oh yeah, she's the one.
I don't know. I mean, she may, for all we know, she may have. They've asked her and she said no, but that would shock me.
Well, it would shock me that with all this press that
unless she's going to go and run the caucus after her term's done. That's a joke.
Skoo, I still say there's got to be a better way than this caucus, man. But I hear you. It's always been that way, and
yeah, I think it's a good process. It's like every process, if the people running it decide to bend it their way, but I don't think you fix it any way other than that.
Well, maybe
there's something to it that for 90 years or whatever, this process has worked, and it has its bumps along the way, but it's produced a great community, and everything you hear, it's
as more information gets out,
it has some warts, and the warts keep getting bigger.
Well, the warts keep getting warts, and it's when integrity comes into question,
right?
Look, people really care about the schools, right? So whoever gets on that school board, that's whatever that comes up, everybody's all passionate. Then everything else, nobody cares,
Right. Right.
So
that's true.
Whatever. All right, so that's our 2 cents. What else you got on your list, Skoo?
God. Oh, I had. We've done it twice now.
Yeah.
Restaurant coming into where Caputo's used to be.
Yeah.
Hometown.
Yeah.
Pam and I scooted down there 2 weekends in a row, and
in Glencoe, or
Glencoe, and I guess they just opened up another one in Waldeck, and Lake Forest is opening up in Octoberish or so. They said, phenomenal.
Did you get any of the food there?
I had two different.
The sandwiches.
Egg sandwich was phenomenal, and then what did I get the other day? Like, oh god, I just spaced. Oh, I had something else, a bagel sandwich, but
they give you choices, and it's
they got smoothies, they got everything, but they got
and they make it there,
donuts and all that. Yeah, I don't know about that. I didn't really delve into it, but the one thing I liked was I got my black coffee, my regular size one.
How much?
For $3. My wife got her latte for $4, and we saved, I think it was like 4 something on versus Starbucks thing. So,
and they were open.
And they're open. That's coming to town, and I think it's going to be phenomenal for Lake Forest. They have a whole slew of things, and I don't know if they're going to replicate outside dining like they do in Glencoe, but boy, I tell you what, the space dog friendly. Tons of people. I mean, it's funny because the Starbucks is right next door to it.
Yeah.
Goose eggs.
Nothing.
But so that's coming to town, and they're local, so it's good. It's excited about that. What else?
Less holidays too.
Lake Colonial did their soft opening.
Yeah, how'd that go? Did you get your picture in front of the place?
No, they said it was a soft opening for only business owners in town. I walked by there with Cooper on his evening walk, and it was jam-packed, and I'm like, well, crap, I didn't get that invitation. I'm a business owner. But anyway, that was rocking, and I guess you can't get in there for, till September right now. But it's good that's opened up. If you like Vietnamese French food, there you go. And a lot of people do.
Hey, that's what makes a market.
Peanut Gallery, I heard, is opening up this week, reopening.
Right next to a fitness place. Couldn't be a better.
And a wine
shop.
Have
a burger. Yeah.
So those are back. They got booze now.
Peanut Gallery's got booze?
Yeah.
Get out.
Yeah, no, they got seating now, so it's going to be.
I might have to go in there and get that Dirty Bird.
Oh, there's been a lot of people asking for it, and you can get a beer with it. How about a Dirty Bird beer?
I got to walk a little more, but that's okay.
That's all right. So that's opening. What else?
You didn't go to that duck place they have?
No, I mean, I recommend everyone that goes there, but I'm not a little tiny plate person eating food, and I guess their specialty, I might be wrong, and forgive me, Dom and Cecilia, if I get this wrong, but I think their specialties like bourbons and all that. And I'm just not a hard brown jug guy.
Yeah.
So, but I've heard wonderful things. I've heard wonderful things about it, and every time I walk by there's people out in the courtyard there eating. So
I love that place, man. You can really.
Have you gone in there?
Yeah, hell yeah. Oh, you got Urso's place in there. You got the Chinese place in there. Susie Swirls in there.
Duffers is opening up
Duffers
soon. And that'll be fun. If you like golf, simulators are going to be in there and get.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Oh, God, golf simulators. The other thing is I went out to at Deer Path golf course. They opened up the lawn. That was their final project of the whole course renovations. Is they took I don't know how many acres it is, but it's right as you pull in there. They renovated a sort of kind of dead area, and it's a chipping and putting surface, gigantic. It's just phenomenal. I mean, it's for a public golf course. You got to get out there and see it. I know you don't golf, but it's wonderful, and it had a big grand opening last week, and
Should we do
Cool.
the Lake Forest podcast golf outing?
Well, I don't know if we could get a foursome.
It would get
Oh,
blocked.
the other thing is, it starts in 2 weeks. Wait,
What?
2 weeks, yeah.
I didn't get that. Try tapping above to edit.
Customer service.
Siri. Hit it. Fall sports are kicking off. Scout football is getting in gear. I think if they haven't started, they start next week. But first game, Pete.
Yeah, when is that?
Friday, August 26th, versus St. Francis.
Oh, no kidding. Home?
Yeah, that's amazing.
What are you getting ready? Like,
I mean, Blue Gold game's the 20th, and the following week is the kickoff. And I think they have like 5 or 6 home games this year. They play. They're home at St. Francis, then they're away at Carmel, home with Waukegan, home with Libertyville, home with Zion, away at Stevenson, home with Lake Zurich, home with Warren.
Home with Warren.
And then they finish the season away at Mundelein. So they got a lot of home games.
Nice.
So,
well,
but that not only kicks off the football, but then all the sports. So it's amazing how fast everything goes. I mean, summer's flying by and they're already
What's the coach's name away. Again?
Chuck Spagnoli.
Hey, Chuck, if you don't come on the show, I'm going to get your brother, Joe from Yahtzees, to come on, and we're going to talk about the old days if I can't get you, all right?
Who's Joe?
His brother.
That is really? Uh-oh.
Yeah, he runs Yahtzees. And back in the day when I was
laying down the hammer.
I'm just saying, he Yahtzees by Wrigley Field, they had one on Diversey that closed. Kenny was the old owner. He passed away. Good guy. Joe married his daughter, and Yahtzees best chicken wings.
Really?
Oh, hands down. So that's how the
Puck has the best chicken wings.
Well, in the suburbs.
Oh, okay.
I'm just talking city wings. Well, I don't know. I think Wrigley Field's now a suburb. It's
Field.
Oh, hey, how are the restaurants come? Well, speaking of dumps, how are the restaurants doing over at Comiskey?
Probably killing it like they always do. Best food in baseball at Comiskey, which I refuse.
But it's like a prison.
Refuse to call. You've never been there. That's why you say it's like
you call it Cook County. No, I've been there.
When have you been there?
When it opened in what, 92 or whatever it was.
The cell?
No, it's like Cook County, man. You can't get out. Everything's. You don't leave that area before
what are you
the
talking
new one.
About?
You don't. You walk a quarter mile in the wrong direction, you're in trouble, my friend.
No, if you walk across the expressway, but if you walk west, you have all the Bridgeport neighborhood and all the salons there.
I'm just saying. Look, at the old field going across.
It's one of the safest spots in Chicago because all the cops live there.
Yeah, but they're all working overtime and they're not. You see the cops leaving, man? You can't get caught. They're like
unbelievable.
Like, see you later. Oh, by the way, homicide counter up to 30 in Chicago.
Wow.
Up to
today?
30. Up to 30 for July 13th.
Oh, yeah. For today.
No, so keep it going.
Yeah. Oh, and for one other thing, Lake Forest Day right around the corner.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. You gonna get served with me in the beer garden again, Pete?
I think those guys don't need any help.
Oh,
they get all the help they get all the help they need.
Veterans Park is getting close to opening up.
Tell you what, Lake Forest Day, make that not a cash system, and I'll be more passionate. I've worked in my
cash, it's tickets.
Yeah, cash tickets. Tickets torn. Okay.
It sounds like you had a bad experience last night. I thought we had fun pouring beers.
Oh, that's hey, you do everything once. You do everything. Look, I'm all for giving help to people that need the help. They don't need help. They don't.
You know what I got coming up? 40.
What?
40.
40 what?
40 years
Of what?
since high school. Got a reunion coming up.
So can you get a foursome for that?
Yeah, we got actually we do. We have quite a few of them set up.
Why don't you get some of them on the show here? Talk about the old days.
I can talk about the old days. Why do we need any of those mugs up?
So we can get dirt on you.
No dirt on me.
Dude.
Unfortunately, there's no dirt on me.
Dude.
There's dirt on me after high school, but not. Go ahead, dig it up. You won't dig a thing.
I'm just making the offer. Come on, because so many people want to come on the show.
Lean as a whistle. I know. There's everyone. I see people. There's great job. Well, come on the show. Nah. All right. Yeah. How can you hang around that guy? Well, come on the show. Nah. Okay.
So here we are in our echo chamber.
Wish I had a beer. We're just having beers. Or that was a shot. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on. Summer's winding down, and missed the Black Crows last night. I wanted to go there, forgot about it. Ravinia, but
Ravinia, good old Ravinia. I don't know who misses each other more, me missing them or they miss me.
You're a Ravinia guy, aren't you?
I think we've talked about this. I'm not.
You're not one of those lawn chairs, kind of getting that whole body down in a little lawn chair and sitting there with your wine and cheese, listening to Black Crows. Listening
because you can't see anything. I might as well be sitting in the back of the lantern.
When's Beth coming on? You were in there? Did you?
I saw Beth and Ed. I think odds are Ed will come on more than Beth.
Well, let's get Ed on.
She can't handle any more business there. That's all. But Joe would be a good one to see where Duffers get Joe and Jeff on. That would be kind of nice.
What else is going on around town?
Nothing, man. We've had some good weather here, good sun.
I mean, you're the man about town now. You should have your headphones and just carry a mic around.
I got the cell phone. I go, is that on the record? No.
Is that on?
But you know what I noticed?
Is that on?
I'm seeing a lot of poop bags, more poop bags, and just staying there. Yeah.
I too have seen that. I just don't get it. You bend down to pick it up and you tie it in a knot, which is great, and then you leave it there.
It's like, can you at least have
I had someone the other day. I was talking to some friends, and they got me going, and my old curmudgeon came out, and they're like, "Oh God, I'd hate to see you sitting on your porch with your cane yelling at people to get off the lawn." I said, "I already do that. I mean, I'm sitting here right now. Hi guys, they're still."
Yeah.
And, I had to yell out the window one day when I didn't have the air blowing like today and said, do you need me to get you a bag for that? I'm like, just taking a dump right on my lawn. I'm like, are you kidding me? Let me get you a bag. And they're like, oh, I better pick that up.
Why? Why
I don't understand the people.
Can I take a dump on your lawn? I mean,
no, you're not a dog.
Well,
no. I mean, it's not.
It's just the bags, and then people.
And now it's bags that are laying around. It's like,
and now they just stack them, So.
Oh, and tonight, Pete.
Yeah.
If you're interested, 4:30 to 6:30 at the golf course on the patio. A little two-piece band they play every week, and they have. I think
Deer
tonight's
Path Golf Course.
Deer Path Golf Course. We go there, just sit there, have some cocktails, listen to some, soothing music, and I think tonight they're offering fish and chips and great little opportunity to kind of relax.
Now, is that every Wednesday or
every Wednesday? Yeah,
okay.
And they have a different menu item, and they've done it for a couple of years. But this year they did the menu wide open last year, and it just got crazy for the poor chef. So they said each Wednesday they're going to have a special.
Yeah.
Like tonight's fish and chips. I think there's some salads and other stuff. But yeah, it's nice. 2 hours just kicking back.
Who's the golf course guy over there?
Patrick.
I know you're listening. Come on, Patrick. Come on the show.
He busts his butt. He's got, unfortunately, shuttling stuff down to the beach, but they wish they could do more there, but we talked about that. And but yeah, and then the concert in the square starts up again. They had Thursday night. I wonder, it's going to be interesting which food truck's going to be there tomorrow or two. But
why don't we get a food truck? Bologna and cheese, peanut butter jelly.
I just think you need to get your little smoker and put it on wheels, and we can just walk around town and you can smoke stuff and serve it. Cut it
brisket.
Up
Yeah. We should do a beach party for our listeners. All four.
We can do it at the. We can rent out the American Legion and do it.
I don't think so. They don't need the money. They don't need the money. But keep taking those cash tickets.
They're paying. All their money's paying for the Veterans Square or Veterans Park opening up soon, which will be nice.
I thought they took a loan for that. Who knows? Don't. What? Why you start me up? You.
Come see Pete at the beer tent in a couple of weeks.
You know what? That old guy is no longer the president, so Lipinski's back in there. I think he's a good guy, so I'll just leave it at that. That old guy. Anyways,
Pete.
Skoo. I call him as I sees him. Well, we thank you all.
Market in Lake Bluff, Friday morning. Go up there, Pete. It's a good little farmer's market. Highly recommend the cinnamon morning cake. Ooh, that's good. Good stuff. A little expensive now, but good stuff.
She comes back with these Simpsons nuclear power plant vegetables that are
carve those babies up for steak. That's
good stuff. All right, Skoo, we gave them our 2 cents. With inflation is now 6. Gas has come down. I saw it at $5.63 at the Shell.
It's come down. No, it's $5.79 at the Shell.
Oh, is
come
it?
down. Oh, yeah.
Is it?
$5.79.9. They might have changed it today, but
all right.
Saw Thor last night.
Who?
Thor,
the movie.
Yeah.
Where you go, Vernon?
We went to see it on the IMAX.
Where's the IMAX?
Lincolnshire.
Oh, no kidding. Okay.
Big freaking screen.
I have not been to the movie since I moved here.
Really?
Yeah. I've heard all these good movies to see, and then here I am creating movies.
Thank you.
Thanks for stopping by.
I don't have any eggs. Go.
More foods. All right, Skoo.
Do you need a bag? Okay.
We thank you all for listening to the Lake Forest Podcast. Hey, this show is supported by listeners and businesses just like you, like Shark Eye Beach Fishing, the premier South Florida beaching fishing experience out of Longboat Key, Florida. The world-renowned captains not only put you on the fish, but to help you and family make a memory of a lifetime. Check them out on Facebook or at sharkeyebeachfishing.com to schedule an outing. Shark Eye is your guy for your next charter. Yes, Skoo doesn't charter. We'd also like to say we're thankful for our Patreon supporters. Reverend Luke back from the Church of the Holy Spirit. Happy birthday, Reverend, or as I like to call you, Revenue. Matt A., Elizabeth B., Coastal Lance, Otto, RDM, Broadstop Breakfast Group in Kenosha, and Captain Mike's Downtown Kenosha, and Greentown Tavern in Waukegan. On behalf of my co-host, Skoo Walker, we thank you for listening. Cue the non-copyrighted